Hey Gemini, this is Tara from Tara's Tarot here with your August tarot reading. I've just shuffled the cards. I have not dealt them yet, so I'm going to show you the cards as they come out and then we'll get started. And I also offer private readings. If anyone wants to book a reading, you can do so below or email me at tara@tarastarot.com. Okay, so let's see what we got. Let's see what messages are coming through for you guys this month. So in the present position, we've got the Queen of Swords crossed by the Page of Pentacles. Hanging over the situation or the reading is the Five of Wands. Underneath, supporting the reading or the subconscious, we've got the Page of Wands. Moving into the recent past, we've got the Lovers. Coming into the near future, we've got the Tower. Ooh, exciting. Okay, so something's changing. We're going to look at that. Representing you, we've got the High Priest. In the environment, we've got the Four of Swords. Hopes and fears, we've got the Emperor. And in our outcome, we've got the, actually I'm going to save the outcome. Okay, I'm going to pull 4 cards for that. Wow, huge new beginning for you guys. Okay, what I'm picking up on here is it looks like something in your life is shifting and restructuring, and it's actually meant to be. So something's being moved out of the way or restructured, something that you might think, oh, this is the way things are, this is my world, this is my relationship, this is how life is. Things are going to be revealed for what they really are and what really is the truth. And this could really cause a big upheaval in your life. It could be positive, you could see it as a great thing, or it could be kind of challenging for you, but this is paving the way for a whole new clean slate and brand new future for you that is full of potential. So you're ending one cycle. You're kind of coming to the end of kind of a negative cycle where some things that aren't good for you or that are draining you or weighing on you mentally, they're being removed, and that's kind of reaching a natural conclusion, and there is all this abundant potential for you. So I feel like fate is kind of stepping in here, restructuring and reshifting things in your life that you might not really know needs to be shifted. So you might be thinking everything's one way, but when this energy comes in the near future, trust it, because it really is in your best interest, and it's a huge blessing for you. I also see that there's need to have some clarity of thought. That's coming up as an important message. You really need to think about, think something through, think kind of non-emotionally, but look at something logically, with, strategy, discernment, an astute kind of, and Gemini, you're great at that, right? Thinking, communicating, intelligence. So there's something that you might need to either take a step back from a situation and not rush a decision and really think it through, really make sure you're looking at all the facts, really make sure you're not doing something based on an emotional need or a sentimental longing, but it's really the true right action you should take. Or there's some kind of pause in your environment and kind of like the space being created in your environment for reflection, for a pause. And this is all to get you kind of rested and kind of coming back stronger, coming back to the situation with the right answer, or knowing the way forward. So there is kind of a need for thought here. I don't know if this is about a love situation, because the Lovers is coming up in your recent past. So for some of you, this may be having to do with love life, values, who you are desiring, a choice you need to make, and this is saying, okay, you really need to think this through, take a step back, get your emotions out of it, and look at this as objectively as you can to really make the right choice. It could just be any significant life choice that is being presented to you. It doesn't have to be love, but it's something that really speaks to your true self and gets to the heart of you as a person, and you're really having to choose, okay, what is me, what direction am I going in, who am I deciding I am, and all those kind of things. Okay, so let's go through the cards and see what other messages we can pull through here. So this is the main energy for the month, or where you are in the present situation. So this is showing a need for, you know, mature thought, refined wisdom, looking at things with a level head. You know, see how she dumps out the water. You know, this is not a time for an emotional decision. This is all about looking at the facts, being clever, thinking things through, being discerning, and, you know, being ruthless in a way, not ruthless in the way that it's a negative thing, but ruthless in the sense of, you know, you're just doing what you need to do to get to the truth. And it's not a time for sensitivity or anything. It's just about speaking your mind, getting to the bottom of something, you know. So now in the environment too, we've got the Four of Swords. So this is making me think, okay, the situation you're in right now it really needs a lot of thought. This is important to take the time to, you know, review everything and not make any rash decisions, and kind of just, you know, here's our environment card, the Four of Swords. This is like that meditation energy where, you know, you go to the desert, you know, you put down your thoughts, you kind of just observe, you take a step back, and you just kind of recharge, process, reflect. So there's probably something going on that's calling for your decision, and there's time to make it. You know, it's saying, like, just take the time needed to get to the right wisdom, to find out the truth of this situation. Now, in the recent past, we've got the Lovers. So this is all about, you know, on one hand, yeah, romantic love, really feeling like, you know, you're swept up in something that your true self is resonating with and you can't avoid it. But also there's a choice here. So the reason there's a choice is because this is all about, you know, who we are and where we are in our life journey, and what we are deciding, what we are choosing, and how that dictates our future cycle based on our free will. So this is like a big one. This is kind of like, you know, you get to choose, but then you have to deal with the consequences of that choice. And that's all part of our learning. So there's probably a big, and I think that's what the Queen of Swords is kind of thinking about, there's probably a big decision that has to be made, and it's probably related to love, but if not, you can apply that to whatever situation that resonates for you. Now, it seems like there's a little bit of, I feel like you want to, there's something new that you might be drawn to in the subconscious here, the Page of Swords. There could be something that you feel moved to in a new direction, or that you're kind of inspired by, or something is brewing that is kind of like pushing you in a new direction and kind of inspiring you to take a leap of faith and kind of launch into a new direction. But there seems to be some kind of a roadblock or some kind of an obstacle in your daily life. Now this is just temporary. That's not to say that, you know, you'll be successful in this challenge or not, but this is a very typical, you know, the hurdles that we all have to go through in quest for a dream and in quest for, you know, something we want or a journey we're on. So there could be some menial difficulties, menial challenges that come up. This is all about, you know, applying your will and facing the dragon and overcoming that roadblock, because again, it's a 5, so and it's a minor card. So this is like a very temporary changing energy. It's not saying you will be defeated. It's not saying, you know, this battle is going to, you know, overtake you. It's just there's something, somewhat of a roadblock that you have to kind of get through. So I feel like you want to kind of go in this new direction, but there's a little bit of pushback or some hoops you have to kind of get through on that journey. And I don't know if this is about, because the King of Wands is showing up, so this might be linked directly with the Wands. Like this could be about a guy that you're, or a woman that you're captivated with, or that you're feeling attracted to, and there's kind of this thought process going on about this relationship, or about the potential, or about if it's worth the risk, or about if you want to pursue this, but there could be some obstacle there. So I'm feeling like this King of Wands, and the King of Wands is very charismatic, charming, self-assured, knows what he believes, has a vision, gets other people excited, is a leader, all those kind of qualities. So, and you know, you can look at this in any way. I mean, that could be a business thing, if this isn't a love relationship, but it's kind of hitting me like a love situation. Now, okay. Oh, that's interesting too. Okay, in the near future, we've got the Tower. Okay, so I feel like, so this is something in your life that you've kind of established and built upon and constructed that is not real, is not built on stable foundations. So this is like the universe coming in going, okay, we're going to remove this from you because you're a little off track, or this isn't good for you, or this is not consistent with where you want to go or who you really are. So instead of wasting your time and energy building this tower and living in this tower and isolating yourself from your true path, we're just going to kind of, an event's going to come in and kind of, you know, remove this from you. So when we're attached to this scenario and situation, it can be painful because we're like, we don't want that to go, but actually it's for our best, because we would not down the road be happy in that situation, or we would, you know, when something's built on false foundations, it's liable to come crumbling down at any moment. It's not secure. It's not really an extension of who we really are. So near future, there's going to be a big shift, and seeing the outcome as well, this seems very important. So I'm going to touch on the outcome, and we're going to come back to that Tower to kind of see what that is talking about. The outcome is amazing, Gemini. This is such a clear message. I'm going to go through each card. We've got 4. We've got the 10 of Swords. So a negative cycle coming to an end once and for all, finally. We've got the Ace of Wands. So brand new potential for a passionate rebirth, new opportunities related to, you know, activity, energy, inspiration, passion. Something is stirring within you that can be taken and run, you know, you can run with it. You can develop this and build this into something. Then we got, no, you weren't supposed to see that. Then we got the Ace of Pentacles, okay? Again, opportunity for a whole new world, a whole new way of life, a whole new career, a whole new level of income, a whole new day-to-day situation for you. This is like a portal that you can walk through. But you need to receive it, you need to take it, you need to take the opportunity. You know, the aces are just opportunities that life has in our path, but it's up to our free will to actually recognize them, follow the opportunity, and kind of focus on this energy to enhance it and actually be able to cultivate and turn this into something bigger in our own lives. Then we've got the Judgment card. So it is fated right now that through the end of this situation in August that you are starting fresh. This is totally like coming to terms with the past, letting the past go, understanding why everything has happened the way it has, and truly being freed to embrace the future and embrace a clean slate and embrace a future that you know what it is. You see clearly. See how they're in the dark in the coffins? They're like, who are we? What's our life? What do we do? It's dark. My world is like a 2 by 6 foot cube. And then they wake up to this new reality, and you know, this enlightening sun god comes, Apollo, to greet them. There's stairs into this beautiful new world. So it really is like waking up into a whole new reality. So that is what is in store for you, and that is freaking awesome. So again, you know, maybe this thought process for you and this lover situation or whatever, maybe it has something to do with, you know, figuring out what is not compatible for you anymore, what you do not want in your life with this 10 of Swords, where you've reached the end of the road. And this probably is related to the Tower as well. So something is being removed from your life, but it's a good, great thing, okay? This is when we are kind of trapped in a situation where we're in this cycle, in this hamster wheel of, you know, we just feel like this is a storyline that we've created for ourselves, and we want to see it through. But like, no matter what, time after time after time after time, the same thing's happening. We're getting the same kind of disappointing treatment. We do not feel fulfilled by this. We feel drained. We feel, you know, beaten up, beaten down. And so this is just enough. This is when we're at the end of that road. There's nothing else here for you. It's time to move on and get this out of our lives. And that frees you up for such a beautiful, I mean, you could like have anything and do anything. This is your time to manifest. This is your time to embrace a new future. This is your time to embrace a new way of life. So if you are like in an unhappy relationship or in an unhappy job, and something happens and there's a shift taking place, and you've really thought this through, it should be apparent to you what needs to go, and you can let that go, because there is something waiting for you that is like a fresh start, and it's in alignment with you. It's meant to be in your life. So let's take a look at this Tower card. I also wanted to say this is the card for you, the High Priest. So this is about gaining wisdom as well, bringing wisdom from the higher levels, from God down to earth. You know, figuring out what your spiritual messages are. This can also be about being in a group versus being independent, or the effects a group has on your decision making, or something like that. But I feel like for you, this is really about, this is your time to think and bring wisdom down and figure out what you're supposed to do in this situation. But a lot of this is going to be out of your hands as well, because the Tower comes in and is going to really just restructure things the way that they're meant to be. So let's get a clarification card on this Tower and just figure out kind of what this shift will be, or what the nature of this restructuring energy is. So we're going to get a clarification card on the Tower. For some of you, this could be about leaving a relationship and gaining your independence, and just being like, because the Queen of Swords can often be like the divorce say card, like, I'm not emotionally connected to you anymore, I'm thinking clearly and I'm done, like, here's my answer. So with the Lovers in the past and the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Swords, it could be like, I'm done with this, but not necessarily. That's just one of many ways you could interpret that. But what is the Tower signifying here for Gemini in August? The Tower for Gemini in the month of August. The Tower, Gemini. The Strength card. So, okay, when this Tower hits, it's going to show you how strong you are. It's going to be touching on themes about strength, about your own strength, your own inner strength, your ability to control the more instinctual parts of yourself. So, you know, can you keep it together? Can you be in control of yourself? Or do your emotions lead? Or does your panic start to set in? Or are you feeling like you are powerless, right? So strength is a necessary, you know, point in our journey that we all go through at different times to really show us what we're made of. So often it can kind of present in a situation where we don't feel strong, but through that dichotomy, through that contrast, we understand and find our strength. So, you know, this is all meant to happen with the Tower and Strength. This is part of your journey. This is part of, you know, you're supposed to go through this. So just let it be, let it go, and go on that journey from there. Don't feel like this is going to ruin anything, or this is bad, or you have to resist this, or you want to deny this, because you're going to have to deal with this either way, and it's easier just to surrender to it and move through it. I just want to get one more card for the Tower. Okay, we got the Star. So the Star is all about hope, being called towards something, believing in something, taken by something and just really purely believing in it and having hope and having optimism and feeling a vision and feeling guided by a vision. So there is hope here. You know, the star comes right after the tower, and the whole analogy there is once the tower, this falsely constructed, you know, false storyline that we've created in our own ego or whatever, that we think it means one thing but it's actually not, when that crumbles, when fate steps in and God goes, okay, we just need to help you out with this, we're going to remove this from your path, rip off the Band-Aid, and when that crumbles, the truth is left. There's no more delusion, there's no more denial, there's no more putting your effort into something that isn't going to yield results. Everything that is not real crumbles, and what's left, if you think about being in the tower, you look up and you see the stars in the sky. You see truth. You see what is left to guide you. You see what path you're supposed to be on, right? So this is all part of that, you know, restructuring you to gain where you're really supposed to be going, to understand, you know, what actually is guiding you, what is the truth, what is trying to get you back on the right track, what messages, what are you compelled and captivated with. And that could be also with the subconscious energy, with the Page of Wands. You know, something is kind of trying to push you and saying, here, look at this alternative, or look at this direction, or doesn't this make you happy? Doesn't this make you excited? What about that? And so there's something, I feel like, pushing you forward to get on this other course that you probably aren't expecting, but it is bringing you to this end point where you're going to be released from a painful situation and you're going to move on to this, you know, the world is your oyster kind of energy. I mean, you could really, this is a great time to start a new relationship or a career or a new project you've always wanted to, or do something different, get out of your comfort zone. This is the time when we put ourselves out there with the aces and the Judgment card. I mean, things are just going to fall into place, and there's so much potential here for you. So, but again, you know, this is a time where you're thinking things through. So you really want to kind of make sure you're kind of in a balanced mental state, so you can really discern all this information truthfully and get to the bottom, get to the truth, figure out the right answer. Remember, we've got the Lovers in the past, the recent past, and this is a heavy card. The Lovers, like, just overtakes you. So you might have a lot to think about and decide. And remember, there is no rush, and what ends up happening in the near future is going to happen without your help. It's just going to come in. But and you know, it's interesting, maybe that's why you're having some of these obstacles in, you know, the present, hanging over the situation, because maybe you're not supposed to be on the track, whatever this tower represents. Maybe you're trying to make something happen and trying to, you know, add bricks to this tower, and it's just not going easily because maybe there's a different path for you, and maybe this is not, there's a roadblock for a reason. All right, let's pull one card for you to see if we have any other messages coming through for Gemini for the month of August. What's the most important thing for Gemini to understand and to know for the month of August? What will most help Gemini move forward? What is Gemini's guidance? You created this situation and you have the power to change it. So this is all about, you know, we're the creators of our own lives. We are not powerless. We everything in our life is ultimately a product of what we have chosen on some level, even if our choice is not choosing and just allowing things to come in without really going after them. So this is, again, with this thinking process, you know, what in your life are you thinking about? What are your choices? You know, there's some kind of new beginning in store, and so I feel like this is about your power to change this course, to not be stuck anywhere you don't want to be. And you're also getting help, you know, from God with that, with the tower, because this is just being handled for you almost. But This is saying, thank you for letting me lean on your strength and for reminding me of my personal power. Remember the strength card. All right, so this was on the Tower. So thank you for letting me lean on your strength and for reminding me of my personal power. Please guide me to manifest and heal according to divine will, creating peace and blessings for everyone involved. All right, so should be a pretty interesting month. Let me know how this resonates with you and how this plays out for you, Gemini. But it's all good because it's going to reorient you and get you on a better course, and it's going to remove anything that is just a drain or in your way or not authentically resonating with you. It's just going to remove that. As long as you are open and able to accept that and move through these energies and receive the new potential here, you'll be good to go. So I hope that this helped. I hope this resonated with you. I will see you guys next month, and I hope you have a great August. And if anyone wants to look at your personal situation in depth, please email me at tara@tarastarot, or you can book below. But yeah, private readings are much more in depth than this. It's all about you, your situation. I use multiple spreads, multiple decks to get as much detail as possible. And readings are received in about a week, tops 2 weeks. So let me know if you're interested, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.